Hello, my name is James Jackson and this is Introduction to Information Literacy. This particular video is going to focus on the Classroom tab up here at the top. There's a prior video to this that gets into the overview of the Angel system and the home screen here. So if you need information on these different windows on this home screen, you'll need to reference that particular video. But this one is going to focus specifically on the classroom and what you need to be doing each and every week to maximize your points in this class. So you've got the Course Home tab, you've got the Calendar tab, and you've got the Classroom tab, and this is going to be the focus for this particular course. Down here at the bottom, it lets you know what the course duration is. Each week begins on a Monday and it ends on the Sunday. Now the finals week is a little bit different, and what you'll notice about finals is the class will end at 11:59 on that Friday of finals week, and that information will be sent out a little bit later in the course, but just want to draw that to your attention now for those of you who are already looking at making plans for the Christmas break and the holidays and whatnot. The quarter ends on the Friday of finals week, and no work can be submitted after that. Inside this classroom section, there's a link here for classroom materials. This is a very important section because it lets you go in and provide questions and answers. So if you have some specific questions, things you're trying to get resolved, you might want to post it into this section because the instructors do the best they can to access the course multiple times. But let's say that you work odd hours and that you're up at 2 a.m. and you need to get a response for something rather quickly, and the instructor may not be actually logged in at that particular time. So by putting the information in this section, other students can take a look, and they may notice that you've put information here. They may have asked the same question and already received an answer from the instructor or someone else in the classroom, and they might be able to provide you some assistance. It's not always that other students may have answers to your questions, but it doesn't hurt to put the information in here. You never know who may be able to help you out and get that information to you as quickly as possible. There's also homework materials. There's a reflective research journal. Each journal is broken down into weeks, Journal 1, Journal 2, Journal 3. This is reflective of Week 1, Week 2, Week 3. So it's a quick access into the journal process. There's a grading rubric, which I highly recommend you take a look at. This will let you know exactly how you're being evaluated on the journal process. We will have a separate video specifically focusing on the journal, so I won't get too much into that here. You also have instructions for the journal. And again, since we're going to have a special video specifically focusing on the journal, I'll leave that for that particular video. And then you have each week's journal information and how to go in and read the information for that particular week's worth of information. If I go back to the classroom materials, there's also a research activity log, and you'll notice it's broken down much the same way as the journal was. As you've got instructions, and you've got research log sheet 1, log sheet 2, etc., etc. This is reflective of each week. So you've got a week 1 log sheet, a week 2 log sheet, etc., etc. And yes, there'll be a separate video specifically focusing on research activity log and what you need to do to maximize points there. So I'm clicking back on the classroom link here. You'll notice that you've got the classroom section up top here, and you also have this little running area down here that gives you access to, you can go back to the course, click back up here to the classroom, and notice that this simply provides links that get you to and from the various locations. Have to cut that out. After the classroom materials, there's a section here for introducing yourself. This is where you go to provide feedback on a little bit about yourself. Just let your instructor and classmates know a little bit about what you're doing and where you're at in your educational process, and some information that allows people to get to know each other a little bit better. This is a voluntary part. What information you provide here is completely voluntary on your part, but the more you're willing to share, then the more other people will share, and the more everybody gets to know about each other, and that's what builds for a nice learning environment. So please feel free to share in here. I think you'll find it an exciting experience. Going back to the main classroom section, you'll see each week is broken down into its own weekly section. As I click on week 1, you'll notice that this is broken down into this week's lesson. If I click on this week's lesson, it lets me know what the reading information is. Down here it says go to the lecture. I click here where it says click here. And this lets me get into each page worth of information. This is in addition to your reading assignment in your course text. It's very important that you read through these weekly lessons that are in the Angel system, because some of your test questions may come from this material. So this is additional reading on top of your assigned reading as part of the course text. So as I click down here at the bottom, you have a navigation that lets you know what page you're on. I can go to a previous page, or I can go to a next page. As I click on next, it just simply takes me from page to page. There are supplemental links in here too that can take you to other windows of information, and I highly recommend you select these and read these pieces of information. Again, yes, they can take the test questions from these other sections as well, so it's important to know what's in this information. Down at the bottom, again, as these pages get larger or smaller, you can notice it's a little bit hard to see where it says next down here. But if I click on next again, then it just keeps going through and providing other pieces of information. Over here to the right, you'll see a nice little video file. When you click on the play button, it lets you actually listen and watch the video that's part of this particular presentation. And again, I'm just clicking on next each time, and notice that now I'm on page 4, and et cetera, et cetera. So just letting you understand there are multiple pages associated with these weekly lessons, and it's very important for those that are wanting to maximize their course grade that you read through this information and your course text. So if I go back to the classroom, just want to show you this is duplicated when I go to week 2. This week's lesson, it's provided again, and you can go and read the information as the information becomes available into the class. On top of the weekly lesson, there's also a listing of tasks. And we'll go in and talk specifically about reflective journal information and the research log, but just notice that this is kind of your weekly checklist. Excuse me. It lets you know, pausing here. The task list lets you know from week to week what you need to accomplish. Notice in this one, it's saying read chapter 1 in your course textbook, and it even gives you a nice little link for a video that you can click on to watch a video. If for any reason the videos are not playing and you cannot hear them or you cannot watch them on your computer, please send an email to your instructor letting them know you're having problems with the video so they can try to help you with the configuration of your computer. There's a lot of videos and a lot of audio that are part of the lesson plans. They are not a requirement to pass the class, but they can certainly help in your understanding of the material. So if you don't have access to these for any reason, please let your instructor know. Down here at the bottom, you've got week 1 attendance assignment. This is unique to week 1 of every course. You have the week 1 reflective journal, you have the week 1 research log, and you have a pre-test. So you need to make sure you accomplish all 4 of these tasks for week 1 to be considered complete. Once all these are done, then you're really ready for week 2. So again, the purpose of this particular video was to let you know about the course classroom link up here at the top, the various pieces of information inside, going into each week, taking a look at each week's lesson, looking at each week's task, and making sure that you complete each task for each particular week. So I hope you found this video helpful, and please come back. We have other videos in the series that will help you with the various components of information literacy and help you maximize the points that you can gain in this course. Thank you and have a great day.